Hey everyone, my name's Pupsker, and today I want to talk about should you or should you not play Warframe? Like, is Warframe really worth playing in the year 2020? And I myself, as someone who occasionally and all the time plays Warframe, I thought, hey, let's talk about that. So, Warframe at this point is a game that's been out for essentially 7 years. I know it's technically been in beta for 7 years, but that's only like some loophole type BS. It's been out for 7 years. And in those 7 years, Warframe has gone from like kind of a shoddy game to, yeah, pretty cool game to, oh, it's a really beautiful, fun game. At this point, at least, for sure. That's why I just want to say, should you play Warframe? Should you not play Warframe? Well, let's go over how the game exactly plays, what you'll find out of it, what you may enjoy out of it, and what you may hate out of it. So, Warframe in general is kind of a first-person, third-person horde shooter. You know, it depends how you play. If you're using a scoped item, or a scoped gun, I would say first person. But if you're using most guns, it's third person. So it's essentially a horde shooter, right? You are this badass space robot in a sense that goes around mindlessly slaughtering all of the people around the world for money, items, guns, etc., etc. So the general idea of the game is pretty cool. Obviously, that's not the story synopsis or anything like that, because the game does have a real story. I'm just gonna go over gameplay and then story, because trust me, the game has a story. But the gameplay is essentially a horde shooter, you know? You run into a mission, enemies spawn, you slaughter them all with ease, generally, you complete the objective, and then you go on with your day. So that's what you'll get out of Warframe. You'll get just general, fun, high action, fast paced combat, and a lot of just gameplay and farming. Like, that is the main point of Warframe. It is essentially a collectible, farm 'em up, play the game style game. It is a game that you can honestly do so many things in, but you don't have to do so many things in. There is a million different options of what you would like to do in Warframe, and you can either do none of them, you can do all of them, and everything in between. It's a game that really gives you a lot of freedom as soon as you unlock everything and like just play the game a little bit to do whatever you want. There's no, in my opinion, clear objective of the game. There is no like end game. There's never gonna be a you beat the game. It's a live service game, so it's just have fun, play the game. And for that reason, I say, honestly, if you do want to check out Warframe, go for it, obviously, and if not, don't worry about it. The gameplay is exactly what you see. You just blow up a ton of things. But the nice thing about that is the game has a ton of variety. There's a ton of different weapons. The weapons play a lot differently depending on which type you're using. A lot of weapons have certain gimmicks or play styles that are very specific to that weapon. Add in the Warframe variety, add in modding, which is, you know, how you upgrade all of your weapons, guns, Warframes, etc. Add the amount of things that you can level up in the game for, of course, various bonuses, but the game has over almost 600, I believe, specific individual Warframe guns, companions, weapons, etc. that you can level up to the maximum level and gain just general experience. Now, this game, unlike most games, your level doesn't really matter. You can be as strong as you are at Mastery Rank 5 as you are at Mastery Rank 25. As long as you know what you're doing, how to play the game, you can be as strong as you possibly want. This is a game that plays with so many numbers and exponents that it just can grow beyond your comprehension, and you can hit like maximum damage in this game of, I think, 2 billion, because like 32-bit integers or something, like 2.1 billion, but I can't fully remember. So this is a game that is just insanely fun if you so choose to play that way. Like, you can mix match, have tons of damage, have the most invincible builds, have the goofiest type of builds, and honestly, it is a lot of fun. So Warframe is the type of game that you can do whatever you want, so you'll have to find your own fun. So that's the thing. If that's not the type of game for you, you might not like Warframe. Warframe does have a lot of quests. It does have a main storyline of quests, but you don't necessarily have to do those quests if you don't want to. You can just do whatever. It honestly took me years to actually complete the main story quest line up until like the most updated point. Not because I didn't have time to do the main story, not because I hated the main story, just purely because I just wanted to play the game and I didn't care too much about the story. I myself am the type of person that I can really play any game as long as the gameplay is good, and if the story is good, well, that's just like an extra cherry on top. I don't need a good story for a game to be good, but I need good gameplay for a game to be good. So I can't do walking simulator type games. I can do visual novels, but only sometimes. So I generally actually need to play a game. I'm not the type of person that can just casually not play a game. That's why you don't generally see me playing games like Life of Strange, etc. You see me playing shooters. You see me playing like League of Legends. You see me playing gameplay style games. And Warframe, in my opinion, is a gameplay style game with a pretty cool story and some pretty interesting characters. Obviously, I'm not going over any specifics because that would be rude and just uncalled for, but the story in my mind at this point is such a convoluted mess, which you might not like because the story is broken up into so many gaps. You know, each quest is a pretty large gap, and it can take you a lot of time to get from each quest to each quest, like days, weeks sometimes, depending on what you're doing. So I don't fully remember the base storyline all that well. Trust me, it's once you listen to the storyline across years of playing the game, you just kind of start forgetting, especially if you didn't care too much in the first place. But I do know that I had a lot of fun playing all the quests, and the story itself was good. Like, Warframe has some really good story quests, and just really fun quests in general. So even if you're like me and you're not a big story guy, you'll probably still like the quests, because the quests have pretty fun built-in mechanics. There's spooky quests, there's funny quests, there's quests of every type of variety. Obviously, all of them in general are just like play the game, kill some stuff, hear some dialogue, have some fun, kill some bosses. That's the general idea behind most quests. Obviously, the game isn't like hugely boss-based, right? It's not like Destiny where you're going to be doing a raid for an hour or two. The game, once upon a time, did have raids, but it was a huge mess. So at the moment, there are no raids. People are hoping that one day raids do get brought back to Warframe, but sadly, there are no raids, which brings me to the general idea is Warframe is a fun game. Like, it has good gameplay and it's just a good game to play. But the general idea about it is it's a farm game that you can have so much fun build variety to do a lot of different fun goofy builds. Like, you can do map nukes, you can do room nukes, you can do speed, you can do flying, you can get across the map in seconds, you can do troll builds, you can do so many different types of builds. All of them can be efficient. And that's the best part about Warframe, is pretty much anything can be really good and really efficient if you so choose. But it doesn't necessarily have endgame, because I would say I'm at endgame, and that's just deciding, hey, what do I want to farm? What do I want to upgrade? What do I want to get stronger for the sake of being stronger? I don't necessarily have to do it, but hey, that's the fun of the game. I don't have to do anything, right? I just want to play the game, so let's get stronger. So if you don't like directionless play for the sake of playing type games, you might not like Warframe. If you like just shooting them up, getting a whole bunch of kills, seeing high numbers, and having just generally fun playing the game, this game might be for you. Of course, there is a huge community in Warframe of fashion framers that essentially just make their Warframe weapons, etc., color them, make them as beautiful as possible. So hey, if you're into that, you can do that as well. I myself am awful with anything related to fashion and colors, so I hit randomize on a lot of colors and wait until it looks pretty cool. Then I stick with that. So as you can see, there's a ton of things you can do in the game. It has a great community, a lot of clans you can talk to, but you have to just like the idea of playing the game just to have fun. You can essentially play for whatever reason you want: community, games, quests, enjoyment, etc., etc. But just remember this: if you're not enjoying it, don't play, because games are there to be played. You can always try Warframe for a week or two. If you don't like it, put it down and never touch it again. But all in all, I would recommend, yeah, you should probably try out Warframe. If you don't like it all that much, again, you can just stop playing it, and if you love it, you love it. Like any other game, it's free to play online, right? So it shouldn't be too hard to at least give it a shot. But remember, you gotta like horde mode type shooters with a pretty cool story, but all in all, it is a grind. So if you like grinding, you like Warframe. So guys, hopefully you liked this video. I just wanted to really have this small little talk and get this video out there, because hey, I get asked a lot like, oh, I've seen Warframe, is it good? Should I play Warframe? So hey, yeah, you should try out Warframe, but you know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Thanks for being here, guys. Subscribe, check out some of my other videos, like, comment, and share it around. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Peace.